some softball. It is time to open up Rita Hillenbrand Memorial Stadium for the 2025 college softball season. As we like to say here in Southern Arizona, spring has officially arrived today. And it feels like spring for sure. Welcome to DK on the Sports Tip. I'm David Kelly. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. 520-848-1290. Got my guys here today. We got Dragon Ball, who's looking very studious over there. Hello, Dragon Ball. And we've got JW Madden. And we've got you on this short Thursday because, of course, we will have the head coach of your U of A men's basketball team coming up, Tommy Lloyd, at 5 o'clock. The Tommy Lloyd Show, live and direct from the Union Public House. Get on over there and check out the show tonight. I mean, I don't think they're going to be, I think was it last week? I think they were inside because it was a little chilly last Thursday. That was the day that we did not have a show because I was out playing La Paloma with the folks from the Cologuard Classic. And, it was a little cold out there last Thursday. It certainly has not, it's been anything but cold this week here in Southern Arizona. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful day. In fact, let's see exactly what the temperature is right this moment. I have got 81 degrees. 81 degrees. I think was the high for today. Was 81 here in Southern Arizona. I mean, it is going to be a beautiful night for softball. The Wildcats starting their season tonight with the Candrea Classic. They will play a doubleheader against Michigan State. Michigan State from the Big Ten. I don't recall too many times that the Wildcats have played the Spartans in softball, but that should be a whole lot of fun. Some good teams in for the Candrea Classic this year. This will be the first of 3 tournaments that Arizona softball is going to play here in Southern Arizona in the preseason. Normally they play, I believe, 2, but as we had Kenzie Fowler on a little bit earlier this week, talking about, hey, why not? Why go away when you can just bring everybody here, especially these cold weather teams that have probably been practicing inside. They probably haven't even seen the outside to practice until they got here. So Michigan State, it'll be a doubleheader tonight. First game is scheduled to first pitch at 5 o'clock. Then you'll have Michigan State and the Wildcats again at 7. So back-to-back games tonight. Both of those games will air on ESPN Plus tonight. So you'll get a chance to see them. Kenzie Fowler, who we chatted with, will be on the broadcast. If you missed that conversation, download our app today, Wildcats Radio 1290 app. You can hear that conversation that we had earlier this week with Kenzie Fowler. We'll let you hear a little bit of what the players had to say and maybe a little Caitlin Lowe as well before we get out of here today. Washington is here this weekend. The Huskies are former big Pac-12 sisters. See, now I'm confusing. I'm going front to back now. It was back to forth, but now I'm going front to back.
That's called an overcorrection.
Exactly. The Huskies are here this weekend. Alabama is here this weekend. The Crimson Tide. That'll be an interesting tomorrow. Washington will play Alabama in the morning. So get on out there if you want to see that game at 9:30. Then the Wildcats will play Washington in the evening tomorrow at 7 o'clock. And then Saturday at 5 o'clock. Oh, man, it's tough when you have all these things. This is going to be a busy weekend. Busy weekend. Think about Saturday. You've got Arizona women's basketball against Arizona State at 2. Then you can hop over to Hillenbrand and see Arizona softball take on the 11th ranked Crimson Tide at 5. Then you can jump back over to McHale Center and see the number 20 ranked Arizona men's basketball team square off against, I believe it's number 13, Texas Tech. Man, what a Saturday of athletics it is going to be here in southern Arizona. You can't be bored. And then Sunday, which is Super Bowl Sunday, the ladies will wrap up the Candrea Classic with another game against Washington. So they'll play their ex-sisters from the Pac-12 twice this weekend. 2 games against Michigan State, 2 games against Washington, and 1 game against Alabama. That's a great start to the season. There's no patty cakes in that one. There's no patty cakes in that opening weekend for Arizona softball. They're going to test themselves real quick.
The good news on Saturday is it's an 8-minute walk.
Yeah,
from Hillenbrand to McHale.
Hillenbrand,
so you could technically do all 3.
And it's beautiful. It's a beautiful walk for sure. Although the grass isn't as green on the mall as it used to be, partly because they let people park there during all of these events. And so
by people, do you mean media? Because
us. Well,
that's where we park.
We have our little segment, but yeah, the fans park there as well.
Sure.
But yeah, the grass is not quite as green as it used to be on the mall because of all the parking that takes place down there. All right, man, again, a lot to get to. Desiree Reed-Francois is going to join us on the show today. We'll talk to her. She was out traveling on the NCAA circuit last week, so we did not get a chance to speak with her. Brian Jeffries is going to join us as well in the 4 o'clock hour. We'll chat with him about everything that's taken place. It's been a couple weeks since we've talked to Brian. We'll get his thoughts. We have not talked to him since he called the game-winning shot or the game-tying shot against Iowa State. The NBA trade deadline is just a buzzing, people going everywhere and anywhere. The Suns finally unloaded Yusef Nurkic. They've been trying to get rid of him for weeks. He is apparently headed to the Charlotte Hornets. The Suns have not gotten rid of Kevin Durant. I believe we have passed the deadline. It was 3 o'clock Eastern. So that passed at 1 o'clock. Kevin Durant is still a Phoenix Sun moving forward. They got blown out last night in Oklahoma City. I believe they lost by 31 or something close to that. Or was it, 140 to 109, I believe.
That's
was
what
the final.
Thunder do.
Jeez. 31-point loss.
How about 50 points or more for Shea in his last 7 games?
Wow.
3 times. 3 times out of his last 7, he's got 50
scored
piece.
50 plus.
Yep. Yeah.
Wow.
And the scary thing, DK, this has nothing to do with trade deadline talk. Chet's back. So Chet Holmgren is now healthy, and he's going to rejoin that Thunder roster, which is, I think there's 6 games ahead of the second-place team right now in the West. 6 games ahead of the second-place team in the West. So, yeah.
Which, if you had told me that the West was going to be OKC, I believe that. But then OKC, Memphis, and Houston as the 2 and 3 in the West, I'd be a little shocked. Yeah,
Houston's the big one. A lot of teams didn't think they were ready. But as far as the trade deadline goes, I mean, KD was the big story the past 48 hours, DK, because there were rumors that the Warriors were making a huge push to try to reunite him with Steph.
Right.
We heard that KD and Steph talked on the phone, and KD made it pretty clear that he wasn't interested in a reunion in Golden State. But now Jimmy Butler's up there. I watched the Spurs last night, and I'll tell you one thing. De'Aaron Fox, if people don't know, De'Aaron Fox averages 25 points and 6 assists this season. Mm-hmm. He and Wemby are going to be really scary. That's, I think, as far as teams that made a trade and are going to have an instant impact. The other side of the coin, we talked about last week, but Luka's healthy. Apparently he's going to be making his debut this Saturday as well. So I'm sure Mavs fans are overjoyed to hear that, Dragon Ball. Now that he's no longer there, they're refunding season tickets for Mavs fans, and Luka's a healthy guy going to be suiting up for the Lakers. So a lot has happened this week in the NBA.
Jimmy Butler is headed to Golden State. Steve Kerr sounded heartbroken when he talked about having to part with Andrew Wiggins, who he reiterated basically, what you said the other day, J-Dub, was they don't win that last championship without Andrew Wiggins.
Yeah, no, I mean, he kind of had a reclamation project of sorts where he was a very highly thought of guy coming out of Kansas, I think is where he went to college, and maybe didn't live up to those expectations, but going over to the Warriors and kind of being a glue guy, fitting that Harrison Barnes role that he had filled for so many years up there. They love what Wiggins brought to that team in the twilight of the Steph and Dre, and now Clay's gone. Yeah, I mean, it's so tough because from everything we've heard, Kerr really thought he was a really good character guy. And you know how big Steve Kerr is on character in the locker room. But that's just the business, man. It's business. I think it was Joker yesterday had the best quote that I saw, and I'll paraphrase, but he said something to the extent of, everybody knows it's a business, but guess what? You know, the sun's going to rise tomorrow, and if you got traded, that means you're good. Like, a lot of people think of it like you get traded, superstars make trade demands or whatever. But if you're getting moved at this time of year to a team that's a contender, that means that you're being moved for a very good reason. And
right.
Yeah, I mean, the Jimmy Butler thing, obviously, he made it quite clear, a month ago, he didn't want to be there anymore. So that's kind of a, shoes to the fire type of deal. But yeah, there's been more superstars move in this week and a half leading up to the trade deadline I think I've probably ever seen in my life.
Mm-hmm. Cry your way out and make millions.
It's for some cases. For some cases. Not all.
All right, DK on the sports tip. Much more coming up for you straight ahead. We'll hear from Arizona softball as they get ready to start their season at 5 o'clock against Michigan State. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hey, man. It's me, your furnace, man. Hey, can I get a light here, man? I know we live in Arizona, so I understand I'm not, like as cool as your air conditioner. But I still need a tune-up at least once a year, man. So get the best in town, man. Goodfellas AC, bro. Hey, anybody smell that, man? I swear it wasn't me. Okay, it was me.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
Tucson, it's time for the Cologuard Classic by Exact Sciences, March 7th through the 9th at La Paloma Country Club and the Westin La Paloma Resort and Spa. See some of golf's greatest players compete for the coveted Conquistadors Helmet Trophy. It's PGA Tour Champions golf at its finest. And Saturday night, under the stars, see Co Wetzel live in concert at Rieto Park. The Cologuard Classic by Exact Sciences, benefiting colorectal cancer awareness and youth sports. Tickets and more at CologuardClassic.com.
Clones, listen up. Not all beef jerky is the same. In fact, there are major differences in quality from one brand to the next. Old Trapper is a better way to snack, chock full of good protein to satisfy your manliest hunger cravings. Every bite is better for you and higher in essential protein than chips, sugar-filled energy bars, and candy. Old Trapper in the Clearview bag is the world's finest jerky, made with only the best ingredients. So ask for Old Trapper by name because no other jerky compares. Old Trapper, what's your beef?
Lowe's knows how to help you get the most out of your store run. That's why members save more with MyLowe's Rewards. Earn points towards MyLowe's money on eligible purchases. Get access to member-only deals and free member gifts. Plus, unlock free standard shipping when you reach Silver Key status. So what are you waiting for? Join for free today. Lowe's. We help. You save. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Empower. Tim collects bobbleheads. A lot of bobbleheads. Baseball bobbleheads. Race car bobbleheads. Little chihuahua bobbleheads. He's got an entire room strictly for bobbleheads. Does he need them? No. Is his wife mad about it? A little. But Tim works with Empower, and he got good at money, so he can be a little bad. Ooh, horse bobblehead. Classy, Tim. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at Empower.com.
Here's a riddle for you. What do yoga mats, a toothbrush, and a Hyundai have in common? I'll give you a moment. Time's up. If you guessed they're all fun, well-designed, and super useful, you guessed wrong. The answer is you can order all these things on Amazon. And the best part, you won't even have to break down a car-sized Amazon box after because you'll pick up your Hyundai at the dealer. Hyundai, now available on Amazon. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details. Limited availability. Pick up through a participating Hyundai dealers in select markets.
Progressive Commercial Insurance flexes to fit your business's needs. From quick repairs to adjustable coverages and even payment options, Progressive Commercial makes it easy to get what you need. Quote today in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
This is your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic. Collisions reported I-19 near San Javier. That collision reported on the northbound side of I-19 approaching San Javier. And it reported off in the median. A little bit of slowing for traffic on I-19 to the south of San Javier. Also crashes Golf Links and Alvernon. Westbound I-10 near Alvernon Way. And also some slowdowns for Ajo and Kinney. That was a reported traffic hazard. And for your weather, looking at 46, the low 78, mostly sunny tomorrow, 80 this weekend, and 83. Now I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Members get more with My Lowe's Rewards. Earn points towards My Lowe's money on eligible purchases. Get access to member-only deals and free member gifts and more. Join for free today. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at Lowe's.com/terms subject to change.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number if you're headed out to Hillenbrand Stadium for the opening of the 2025 college softball season. We'd like to hear from you. Let us know what you think about this year's Arizona Wildcats squad as they open things up. They've got, I think the thing, again, and we'll get into this, that stands out to me is just the sheer amount of pitching that softball teams are carrying now. There are, and I'm going to see if I can go by position here. So I
think Taryn is shocked at this point.
Oh, gosh.
Didn't she pitch like 9,000 innings in the World Series?
She basically carried the whole thing.
Yeah, like started every game.
Yeah. There are 8 pitchers. Aisa Silva, she's a junior. Ryan Maddox, a redshirt freshman. Sarah Wright, a true freshman. Sydney Sumner-Dyke, a redshirt sophomore. Brooke Mannon, a sophomore. Saya Swain, a graduate transfer from Iowa State. Miranda Stoddard, a graduate student. She's also a transfer. I think she was here last year, though, from Kentucky. And Devin Netz, she's a redshirt senior who was injured all of last year. 8 pitchers on this team for Caitlin Lowe to go to work with as she starts the season tonight. Let's hear from the head coach, Caitlin Lowe, on all of those pitchers that she has and where they stand heading into the beginning of the 2025 campaign.
We have all 8. All 8 are cleared, healthy, ready to go. That feels great to say. In January, it was a different place last January. Devin looks great. I think she probably got healthy, the earliest as far as was kind of able to get back to 100% a little bit faster than the others. Ryan was still working through her rehab process throughout the fall. We feel like she's in a really good place now. Same with Sydney. So just excited to see what they can do and excited to have a whole lot of options this year.
The players were saying that because you have so many different pitchers, it kind of keeps them off balance, makes it difficult for them. Do you think that that's something that you can bring into games and that kind of pitching by committee can be an effective weapon for you?
I think it works for us in 2 ways, honestly. Just like you said, us keeping our hitters off balance right now is preparing our hitters for adjustments throughout the spring, which is very cool. It's pretty rare to see that many different looks throughout our inter-squad scrimmages. Sometimes you just get used to a couple or a few and then have to roll in and see a whole lot of looks. So on the hitter side, I think it's super helpful for us. And yes, I think we have a Major League Baseball bullpen mentality where matchups are so important this year. Being able to keep people fresh is going to be really important this year. So just excited about those. And they've really bought into, Christian and having a role in the pitching staff versus just, going out there and wanting innings. It's more so each person has a job to do.
For fans that are going to pick up the roster and see 8 pitchers, how would you best describe to them how we got to this point?
Well, when you have red shirts, everything, people transfer, Devin's senior year would have been last year, so we would have had, a different number. When we saw Saya in the portal, that was exciting for us because it's something that we don't have in the bullpen. So we're constantly trying to build just something that looks different, something that keeps hitters uncomfortable. And I think that's the biggest thing for us is, when people start to get settled at the plate, we're going to have a new look. And someone's going to constantly be ready to come into that game. But I've been most just encouraged with how competitive they are. They all want the ball in those moments. So that's exciting. And they're going against a tough offensive lineup every single day in our inner squads. And we'll be very happy on Thursday to play somebody else.
Number moving forward? Is there a lower? Obviously with Devin coming back unexpectedly, obviously, but is there an ideal number in terms of pitchers that you think you'll carry?
No, I don't think so. The days are gone when it's 2 to 3 pitchers. I think everyone would like to say that they have 4 or more that they can go to, and we play. Looking at our schedule, 5 or 6 games a weekend pre-conference. So I think the load of those weekends and being able to keep the people you want to keep fresh for postseason and a conference season is just as important as having those different looks.
All right, that's Caitlin Lowe, the head coach of your Arizona Wildcats softball team, talking about 8 pitchers on the roster, which is funny when we talk about the fact we chatted with Kenzie Fowler on Monday it was, and how she said, man, in those inner squads, I had to face everybody all the time. And we're talking about she was facing like murderer's row at times with Stacey Chambers and Brittany Lestraps and Bridget Del Ponte and Leanie Correa and all of those young ladies of that era, 2010 to 2014, Lauren Schutzler and Carissa Buchanan, and now, but the thing about that is that it prepares you. When you're facing that kind of lineup every day, that prepares you for what you have to face when you get in, and when those teams would get in to the, what was just an unbelievable Pac-12, Pac-10. I think it was actually still Pac-10 back when Kenzie started here in 2010. Eventually became Pac-12 by the time she graduated out. But, man, you were prepared to face UCLA and Washington and those other schools that those other power schools back in the day. Now you've got a chance. It's not one person having to go through that Arizona line, that Arizona hitters lineup every day and face, the Taylor Reel and Dakota Kennedy and all the rest of the young ladies that are in the lineup. You've got and Devin Nets, who obviously does both. You can spread that out. So, Kenzie talked about her mental health, how she just was so beat up by having to face those hitters every day. Hopefully it's an advantage for these teams, for this team in particular, to have that many pitchers that can share the load in those intra-squads, so you're not feeling like you're leaving the ballpark defeated every day because those hitters are taking you out.
It's tough, right? Because pitching is such a rhythm event. Like, you really need to be in that groove. And when you see a college-level ace go out there and she strikes out 12 and, is scoreless through 6 or whatever, a lot of that to me is just understanding, number one, the tendencies of the lineup that she's facing, and number two, getting into that comfort, that state, that fugue state or whatever. And the idea of Major League Baseball's middle reliever trend of the last 15 years, Dragon Ball, seems to be leaking out a little bit. I love it, DK. I love it overall because it gives, so many college athletes more rest time and more time to be at their best when they are out there performing. And like I said, I'm used to having pitchers who go out there every 3 days and can go, 6-7 innings, strong innings, and throw big pitch numbers, because that's just the way we've always known it. And change is inevitable, right? And if Coach thinks that that's the best way to go about it, Dragon Ball, I mean, that's the best way forward. She would know best.
Yeah, and the thing is that I love that they have the depth of pitching. That's a huge boon for any manager. But anybody who's been a fan of a team with a deep pitching staff knows one thing and one thing only. It doesn't mean anything if you can't score the runs to back up that starting rotation, because then you force those starters to be out there longer and not have to go in and have easier days where, oh, well, we're up by 5 runs already in the 6th inning. We can probably look to go to the middle relief and have the starter get saved for the big one that's coming up in 3 games. But if you're in a 2-1 game and your pitcher's pitching lights out because she has to, it's okay, well, we got to leave you out there because you've got the momentum, and we're still looking to see if we can get on this other pitcher because our hitters can't find the zone right now. If you're going to have a deep pitching staff, you got to have the hitters to back them up. That way you're not forcing them to be out there 6-7 innings deep if you really want to utilize that depth.
DK, you think this has to do with, was it Ryan Maddox that got injured after being a top flight recruit coming in? That the change in holding so many different pitchers, because they were really, wasn't that last season?
Yeah.
Where they were really expecting or anticipating relying upon her arm, and she didn't really pitch at all. So that idea of if you have, because again, the old days of having an ace, maybe 2, who do the bulk of the pitching for a top flight team, if you lose one of those pitchers and there's really no backup plan, that's a big problem. So I don't know. I mean, we saw that with Coach Barnes's crew when she had defections and injuries and was down to 6-7 players. I think always better to go into a season with as many options as possible. DK, you're the expert on baseball among us, and so as far as pitching staffs go at the college softball level, I mean, do you see that trend changing across the nation? Because I'm not hearing a lot of rumors about other squads maybe carrying up to 6-8 pitchers. Maybe it's just the way that the Arizona coaching staff and their pitching staff really wants to go because of recent events and losing a star pitcher like that early in the season.
We'll have to look at that. I have not looked at rosters across the board to find that out, but I would imagine that I know last year you were seeing more pitchers in games and begun in the last few years. I think probably since the pandemic, we've begun to see more pitchers being used in games than what we had seen prior to that. But it'll be interesting to kind of analyze that as we go along this season. What do you think? Want to hear from you today, 520-848-1290. What do you think about the Wildcats carrying 8 pitchers on a softball team, especially if you are in this game of softball, if you play it, if you coach it? What are your thoughts on 8 pitchers on a roster and how you're going to manage that and keep everyone happy? We'll hear from some of the players, including one of the ladies that's coming back, Devin Netz. Straight ahead, you're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
Right, that makes sense.
So we need a clean, concise way to tell people that we'll be there in 24 hours or the...
I got it.
Gary, there's no room in here for whatever that is.
What is it?
Exactly what you asked for. Alaskan AC's way to remember. If the heater breaks down, we'll be there in 24 hours.
Or the repair is free.
And that's what this is. Let me turn it around.
Don't.
Gary. Look here. It says, Alaskan AC, the fast responding, quick acting, never dawdling, always getting, quick fixing, happy making, HVAC-ing people in town.
You forgot. Or it's free.
That part's in the hallway. Gary, I appreciate your hard work and, overachieving? Sure, that. But I want something easy for people to remember.
Yeah, who can remember Alaskan AC, the fast responding, quick acting,
always getting, quick fixing, happy making, HVAC-ing people in town? It's a mouthful.
3 mouthfuls.
Now get that out of here. Wait, no!
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
AlaskanAC.com.
Get your backyard summer ready with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you want to dive in this summer, now is the time to visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. First Choice Pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilders.com. Ask about our 60-day pool. To be summer ready, First Choice is the only choice.
Flowers, chocolate, more flowers, more chocolate.
Searching for the perfect Valentine's gift? Oro Ford's got you covered. Save 10 grand off MSRP on new 2024 F-150s and new 2024 Super Duty trucks. Or get an incredible 12 grand off MSRP on new 2020 Ford Expeditions. Take the easy drive from anywhere in Tucson for the sweetest deals all February long. Only at Oro Ford and oroford.com, where you'll always get 2% tax savings and no dealer add-ons.
Restrictions may apply. Not everyone will qualify. See Oro Ford for details.
Do you believe in McHale magic? Every voice matters. Every roar matters. And when your Wildcats take the floor against top 25 Big 12 opponents, you make the difference. McHale Center is the best home court environment in the West, and the time is now to experience the electrifying atmosphere of Arizona women's basketball. Don't wait and lock in your tickets for the ASU game on February 8th today by calling 520-621-2287 or visiting ArizonaWildcats.com. Bear down, go Cats.
When it comes to protecting my family's future, I want a life insurance company that's at the top of their game. That's why I got same-day coverage through Ethos. There was no paperwork, no waiting around, and no medical exam. I just answered a few health questions online, and Ethos set me up with a $3 million policy for about $2 a day. Go to checkethos.com and get it done today. That's CHECKETHOS.com. Checkethos.com. Sample rates is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
Millions of Americans take medicine like Ozempic and Zepbound. Many of them are overpaying by thousands of dollars a year. These GLP-1 medications for diabetes, weight loss, and more may not always be covered by your insurance, but GoodRx can help. GoodRx helps you save every month on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, it's free to use. Check GoodRx to save on GLP-1s. Just go to GoodRx.com/GLP. That's GoodRx.com/GLP. GoodRx is not insurance but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
Clones, listen up. Not all beef jerky is the same. In fact, there are major differences in quality from one brand to the next. Old Trapper is a better way to snack, chock full of good protein to satisfy your manliest hunger cravings. Every bite is better for you and higher in essential protein than chips, sugar-filled energy bars, and candy. Old Trapper in the Clearview bag is the world's finest jerky, made with only the best ingredients. So ask for Old Trapper by name because no other jerky compares. Old Trapper, what's your beef?
We've all got a thing. Yeah, even you. If you love fashion, car parts, trading cards, whatever you're into, it's on eBay. So go find the thing that keeps you up at night. eBay. Things people love.
Lowe's knows how to help you get the most out of your store run. That's why members save more with My Lowe's Rewards. Earn points towards My Lowe's money on eligible purchases. Get access to member-only deals and free member gifts. Plus, unlock free standard shipping when you reach Silver Key status. So what are you waiting for? Join for free today. Lowe's. We help. You save. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
We've all got a thing. Yeah, even you. If you love fashion, car parts, trading cards, whatever you're into, it's on eBay. So go find the thing that keeps you up at night. eBay. Things people love.
This is your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic. Got a collision on I-10 eastbound approaching Rita Road, and there are some backups on eastbound I-10 approaching Cold Road 2 as you approach Rita Road. We've got another wreck, I-19 south of San Javier, reported off in the median. There are some slowdowns on northbound I-19 approaching San Javier. A fire and fire crews on scene. Ajo at Kinney. Traffic on Ajo Highway closed from Kinney to a little west of the intersection. 46 the overnight low, 78 mostly sunny tomorrow, and 80 this weekend, 83 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Rooter Ranger 24/7 Plumbing, Sewer, and Drains. For fast, affordable plumbing and emergency drain services, call Rooter Ranger and get out of plumbing danger. RooterRanger.com.
888-7-RANGER. Get you out of plumbing danger.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Call or text. Arizona softball opening up their season tonight at Hillenbrand Stadium. A doubleheader against Michigan State. First pitch scheduled for 5 on game 1. Wildcats are picked to finish third in the Big 12. They did not get any first place votes. There are only 11 teams in this conference, or 11 schools that play softball. With the departure of Oklahoma and Texas to the SEC, Oklahoma State now are the queens. They obviously have consistently been to the Women's College World Series in recent years, and they knocked the Wildcats out of the postseason last year. Oklahoma State got 9 first-place votes. Texas Tech got 2 first-place votes. So you heard Kinsey Fowler earlier this week talk about a young lady that they got through NIL that has really bolstered their staff. Arizona then comes in at 3, Baylor 4, BYU 5, Utah 6, Central Florida 7. Arizona State still trying to get back to their years where they were near the top. They're picked to finish 8th. Kansas 9, Iowa State 10, and Houston comes in at 11. Let's take a call here and chat with Mike. You're on DK on the Sports Tip.
Hi, guys. How you doing?
Good, Mike. How are you?
Good. I'm glad to hear about the variety of pitching we have, but are there any prospects in the batting order like could have Jenny Dalton Power?
That's interesting. Jenny Dalton Power, man, you're going back a few years there, Mike.
I'm an old fart.
Well, there's no question. This does not look, and granted, there's a lot of young players that I maybe am not necessarily all that familiar with. This doesn't look like the kind of power lineup the Wildcats have had in recent years when it was stacked, with girls like, Harper and some of the other players that have been through here in the last few years. Obviously, Dakota Kennedy is probably going to be your leading power hitter. From that standpoint, I know there's a lot of speed. When you talk about Logan Cole, who will be back from injury this year, and you've got also one of the preseason picks in the Pac-12, or I'm sorry, Pac-12. There we go. In the Big 12, Regan Shockey, who also is a speedster out there. So yeah, I don't know that you got Jenny Dalton type power in this lineup. That's like Hall of Fame level power there. But there'll be some girls that can hit it out.
Okay, thanks for the call.
No problem, Mike. Appreciate you checking in. Yeah, this is not. It's like trying to remember, a few years ago, you had a number of players alongside Jesse Harper who could power the ball out of the ballpark. Who hit nearly. I think she had over 100 home runs in her career.
How about Laura Espinoza?
Yeah, that's going back a few years as well.
I mean, doesn't she still have the record for most home runs in a season in NCAA softball history?
Well, no. The girl from Oklahoma shattered that a few years ago. Yeah, but she's still up there, definitely, for sure. Dakota Kennedy and Regan Shockey are on your Big 12 softball preseason team. They were the only 2 Wildcats that made that roster.
She did not, by the way. So she shattered the all-time career record, which is 121 home runs for her career, but 37 in a season is still the record.
Season.
Yeah,
okay.
1 year's worth of home runs, 37.
All right, I thought you meant for career.
Yeah. Jocelyn Alo or Alo, is it?
Alo.
Yeah, she had 34 was her high in her career. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, but just looking at this year's roster compared to last, I mean, Dakota Kennedy is your only member of the top 4 home run hitters, and you're losing a lot of double power there, too. I mean, you're not Dakota's really, in essence, the only one that you're seeing that was able to carry the ball out pretty far returning for this year's team. But like you said, it's always about finding the next hitter up. So waiting to see what the young girls go ahead and bring to the table here.
Kyle Altmaier is a player that was talked a little bit about in terms of someone who could, who kind of came on really at the end of last year. She only hit 5 home runs, but most of those came at the tail end of the season. She could be somebody who takes that jump into double digits, but absolutely what Mike was talking about. Devin Netz obviously missed all of last year. She's capable of double-digit home runs for sure. So that could be somebody that you figure with a full season you're gonna maybe see her. I mean, she hit 24 in 22, and she hit 26 in 23. So, I mean, you would hope that you get 25 to 30 home runs from Devin Netz there as well. So there's a few young ladies that can power it out of the ballpark. Not a stacked power lineup, though, maybe as we were used to seeing maybe mid-last decade when Candrea was just putting a bunch of young ladies in the middle of that order who really, really were competing every year to be among the best home run hitters in the country. All right, we'll talk a little bit about this weekend coming up with the athletics director of the University of Arizona, Desiree Reed-Francois, will join us. It is DK on the Sports Tip. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290. Hey, it's DK on the Sports Tip. Don't miss a minute of the best Arizona Wildcats coverage in town. Tell your Alexa device to play Wildcats Radio 1290. This is your home of Arizona football, men's basketball, and baseball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Lowe's knows that free is just better. That's why MyLowe's Rewards is free to join. As a member, you earn points towards MyLowe's money on eligible purchases, get exclusive free gifts, and earn free shipping at Silver Key status, all on top of weekly member-only deals. Don't wait. Join MyLowe's Rewards for free today and start saving more. Lowe's, we help, you save. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
What's that sound? That's the sound of Downy Unstoppable scent beads going into your washing machine and giving your clothes freshness that lasts all day long. There it is again. It's like music to your ears, or more like music to your nose. That freshness is irresistible. Let's get a Downy Unstoppables bottle shake. And now a sniff solo. Nice. With Downy Unstoppables, you just toss, wash, wow, for all-day freshness.
Paid for by Hims & Hers Health. Hims & Hers Weight Loss is not available everywhere. Compounded products are not FDA approved or verified for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required. Restrictions at 4hers.com apply. Wegovy and Ozempic are not compounded.
With Hers, you can access doctor-trusted weight loss plans, like compounded GLP-1 weekly injections with the same active ingredient as Ozempic and Wegovy. Based on pricing through Hers, save up to 91% per month with compounded semaglutide, the same active ingredient as the name brand drug. Get started at 4hers.com/start today. That's 4hers.com/start.
Right, that makes sense. So we need a clean, concise way to tell people that we'll be there in 24 hours or the... I got it. Gary, there's no room in here for whatever that is.
What is it? Exactly what you asked for. Alaskan AC's way to remember. If the heater breaks down...
We'll be there in 24 hours.
Or the repair is free. And that's what this is. Let me turn it around.
Don't... Gary.
Look here. It says, Alaskan AC, the fast responding, quick acting, never dawdling, always getting, quick fixing, happy making, HVAC-ing people in town. You forgot. Or it's free. That part's in the hallway.
Gary, I appreciate your hard work and,
Overachieving?
Sure, that. But I want something easy for people to remember.
Yeah, who can remember Alaskan AC, the fast responding, quick acting,
always getting, quick fixing,
happy making, HVAC-ing people in town?
It's a mouthful.
3 mouthfuls.
Now get that out of here. Wait, no!
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, will arrive in one day or your repair is free.
AlaskanAC.com.
It's the $10,000 quiz show. Okay, contestants, these are things that save you money. Ready? Here we go. It's Tucson's only place to save up to 40% on all your favorite tobacco products.
Tobacco Barn.
You pay no city or state sales tax because they're on
the Indian Reservation.
And save up to another $3 off with a coupon at
TobaccoBarnTucson.com.
Excellent. Now for the big savings. At Tobacco Barn, you'll save up to
40% off?
And because they're on the reservation, you pay no
city or state sales tax.
And at TobaccoBarnTucson.com, you get
a coupon up to $3 off?
What you are if you waste your money shopping somewhere else.
Crazy?
Nuts.
Stupid?
A few tacos short of a combo plate?
Whoa! Tobacco Barn, Tucson's most watched savings show. Nogales Highway, just south of Valencia. Check your local listings or TobaccoBarnTucson.com.
Arizona basketball looks to avenge their lone Big 12 loss to Texas Tech this Saturday. The Red Raiders coming to McHale Center for a new tip-off time at 8:30. Our coverage begins at 5 with Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day right here on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Now Taxes is using Credit Karma, where a TurboTax expert can do your taxes for you. They'll get your refund so you can do more with it right in Credit Karma. Now this is taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. See guaranteed details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
When it comes to protecting my family's future, I want a life insurance company that's at the top of their game. That's why I got same-day coverage through Ethos. There was no paperwork, no waiting around, and no medical exam. I just answered a few health questions online, and Ethos set me up with a $3 million policy for about $2 a day. Go to checkethos.com and get it done today. That's CHECKETHOS.com. Checkethos.com. Sample rates is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
Millions of Americans take medicine like Ozempic and Zepbound. Many of them are overpaying by thousands of dollars a year. These GLP-1 medications for diabetes, weight loss, and more may not always be covered by your insurance, but GoodRx can help. GoodRx helps you save every month on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, it's free to use. Check GoodRx to save on GLP-1s. Just go to goodrx.com/GLP. That's goodrx.com/GLP. GoodRx is not insurance but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. Arizona softball opening up their season tonight against the Michigan State Spartans at Hillenbrand Stadium. First game will be at 5 o'clock. Second game will be after the first game, scheduled for 7 o'clock. And so first opportunity to see these ladies. 8 pitchers on the roster. Going to be fun to watch how that all shakes out. Let's talk to the athletics director at the University of Arizona. Her name is Desiree Reed-Francois. And Desiree, we're just talking some softball in this first hour of the show. The season begins tonight. What do you think about 8 pitchers on the roster? That's a lot.
I think it is fantastic because if you have a great pitcher or if you have 8 great pitchers, that gives you an automatic just opportunity to be really make a big run. And, by the way, did you know that it's Coach Caitlin's birthday today?
Is it? No. Happy birthday, Caitlin Lowe.
I know. How about that? She gets to start off. The season starts tonight at 5 o'clock and 7 o'clock against Michigan State. By the way, if you're Michigan State, how awesome is it to be invited to the Candrea Classic here in Tucson, Arizona in the month of February?
We were just saying they probably are just practicing outside for the first time when they got here for the event this week. I don't think we've seen Michigan State here for softball much in the past.
You know what? If I'm Michigan State, Michigan, or anyone above in that area, I am going to beg and plead to come out to Tucson. But I'm really excited about this team, and we're ranked number 16 in the preseason polls, and you can just feel the excitement surrounding it. So I am really looking forward to getting out there for a little bit tonight.
Yeah, Hillenbrand Stadium's changed a little bit since the last time you were here. Well, what were your thoughts when you got a chance to kind of walk through it for the first time last year?
Oh my gosh, it is beautiful, and it was sort of funny. I was telling someone earlier today that I remember, like, on my press conference day, I walked into the football stadium, and I just was so confused because I was so used to like baseball being right there, and I was like, where is baseball? So baseball moving over, and we have the beautiful indoor practice facility, and I love High Corbett. But yeah, no, softball stadium is phenomenal. What Coach Candrea and many others have done, it's really special. Coach Candrea I've really appreciated. He has been a wise, just kind of sage for me, and I've appreciated his mentorship and guidance and wisdom, and I really care about Coach Candrea.
We're chatting with Desiree Reed-Francois. She is the athletics director at the University of Arizona. Now, I understand, Desiree, there's been a few upgrades over at Hillenbrand Stadium. Was that something that kind of was in the works, or was that something that after you arrived here, you decided we need to maybe spruce things up a little bit? How did that all transpire?
Well, we needed to put in that wall, and so we did that, and that was a little bit of a safety issue. But we're always wanting to look at upgrades, and we're looking at potentially even over at football, looking at on-field suites. And I went over to the Arizona Bowl, the Snoop Dogg Gin and Juice Bowl, I should make sure to say, and I really liked those on-field suites that they had. So we're going to look at that. We're going to look at some new. Long-term, I know the sound is not where it needs to be. That's a little bit of a longer-term fix, but every year I want our facilities to get a little bit better, the fan experience to get a little better, and that wall in softball was just one of those pieces.
We talk about all the great players that have obviously come out of that program. One has been working with you on staff. She's going to be leaving, in Erica Hansen-Barnes, but there's going to be a scholarship that you guys are putting together for young women in the athletics program who want to maybe be in Erica Hansen-Barnes someday and have a chance to work in high-level athletics.
Absolutely. I just felt like it was an important way to recognize her, and she's been here a really long time, and she has made a very big impact. And it was a privilege to be able to establish that scholarship. When she first told me that she was potentially going to be leaving this summer, I wanted to think about what is the best way to recognize her contributions, and so then we started talking about it over the fall, and then we made it official. So we have the Erica Hansen-Barnes Scholarship, and I'm really proud and very thankful for all of the contributions that she's made.
We're chatting with the Desiree Reed-Francois. She is the athletics director at the University of Arizona. Desiree, we were kind of joking first segment. We want folks to bring their walking shoes out on Saturday because you've got women's basketball at 2 o'clock against the rivals from up north over at McHale Center. Then as soon as that game is over, you can take I think J-Dub said the 8-minute walk from McHale Center over to Hillenbrand to see the ladies take on number 11 Alabama. And then after that game's over, you can take that 8-minute walk right back to McHale Center for one of the biggest basketball games of the season. It's, we're at that time of year. I call it mega sports weekends, and then this is the first one of those coming up.
Absolutely, and it is going to be outstanding. We also have tennis this weekend, and they're home on Friday against Utah State and then Sunday against Pepperdine. But yes, start out your day with our women's basketball team. And while we had a tough loss last night against Colorado, looking forward to getting back on that winning track this afternoon, or I'm sorry, on Saturday at 2. And then, we are leading the Territorial Cup Series, 4.5-3 so far this year. Also, we have a men's basketball pregame event at 7. So come a little early. I know that we had to move our game from 8 to 8:30 so that we could be on national ESPN. But I hope folks will come a little early and be a part of our pregame event.
Yes, becoming these Saturday night parties over at the McHale Center, at least the last 2 weekends with later start times. You had a chance to be with the team at BYU. What was that experience like to see us play in that building?
Oh, my gosh, that was so much fun. It was electric. It was a sold out. I think they have about 19,000 fans. And the energy was outstanding. And, I had texted with Steve Kerr, but I had not met him to assume this role. And so it was phenomenal to spend time with him. He has this presence about him and this humility that is really special. And I've been doing this for about 30 years, and I've had the really good fortune of being around some incredible coaching greats. Whether it's Pat Summitt or Coach Wooden or even Coach Saban. Coach, they all have that special ability to make you want to be your best selves around them. You want to pull your shoulders back and be the best you can possibly be. And Coach Kerr really had that. And, I remember watching him play, and I remember how electric that 1988 team was. And, that was back in the day. I'm dating myself, but yeah, I really appreciated him driving down from Salt Lake City to Provo to support our team. It meant a lot to our young people and to Coach Lloyd as well.
Desiree Reed-Francois, athletics director at the University of Arizona, joining us for a few more moments. And Desiree, head coach Brent Brennan singled you out during his National Signing Day press conference, said that you had been meeting, taking time to meet with a lot of the recruits as they were coming in here to decide if Arizona was the place they wanted to be. What's kind of your philosophy there, and what are some of the things that you try to answer for these young men and women when they come in here?
I want them to, this is a special place to be. And, I'm a proud alum. I'm a proud graduate. And I appreciate Coach Brennan saying that. But this is, for us to be successful, we got to all do it together. We talk about one Arizona, and none of us can do this by ourselves. We got to do it as one community. And when I meet with recruits and their parents and their families and loved ones, I talk about why my family, why we all chose Arizona for me to attend school. I talk about why I chose Arizona for my only son. And I talk about how important the University of Arizona is to our incredible community. We love Tucson. We love this community. And I want them to feel that we're going to take care of their son, in this case, and their daughter when I'm talking to other sports, because just like I want for my son Jackson, I want the same for their young people. I want them to be pushed and push some more, and then when they fail, I want them to know that they're going to have a family around them that's going to love them, and that's their Tucson family. So, recruiting is it's an art and a science, and there's a lot that goes into it. But in the end, someone's son or daughter, they want to make sure that they belong to something special, and that's what we try and share with them.
Outstanding. She is Desiree Reed-Francois, the athletics director at the University of Arizona. Anything else you want to say to the fan base before we wrap up here today, Desiree?
No, I just look forward to seeing everybody this weekend. Or starting tonight, softball and basketball, both basketballs. I'm fired up, and tennis, and our men's swimming program. They've made great strides, and I think they're number 20 in the country right now. And they got a big one going up north, and it's going to be a tough one against the reigning national champions, but they're fired up. So we've got some great momentum. We got to keep it rolling. So bear down, go Cats, and thank you for all that you do.
All right. Thank you, Desiree. We'll talk to you again next week.
Thank you.
Desiree Reed-Francois, athletics director at the University of Arizona. One more hour to go before we hand it off to Brian Jeffries and Tommy Lloyd, live from the Union Public House for the Tommy Lloyd Show. Dragon Ball has everything happening sports-wise in Southern Arizona as well as around the world. Hold on, Dragon Ball. I don't think we've got your mic working. Why don't you slide over there so the people can hear you? I'm not sure what's going on with that one there.
Starting up today, have you been hearing? Again, they've got two of their games going up against Michigan State at the Condrea Classic. And again, Caitlin Lowe mentioning that the team is prepared with the full assortment of their pitching options.
We have all eight. All 8 are cleared, healthy, ready to go. That feels great to say. In January, it was a different place last January. Devin looks great. I think she probably got healthy, the earliest as far as was kind of able to get back to 100% a little bit faster than the others. Ryan was still working through her rehab process throughout the fall. We feel like she's in a really good place now. Same with Sydney. So just excited to see what they can do and excited to have a whole lot of options this year.
Again, you get to see first pitch today at Hillenbrand Stadium with the first game starting at 5 p.m. The second game, also against the Spartans, will be at 7. The NBA trade deadline has come and gone. The Suns did make some moves, but not the big blockbuster many were expecting. Again, making another deal with the Hornets, the Suns elected to go ahead and send Yusuf Nurkic and a 2026 first-round pick to Charlotte in return for Cody Martin and a 2026 second-round pick. Earlier in January, the Suns did make a deal with the Hornets to get big man Nick Richards for Josh Okogie. And elsewhere in the NBA, Chris Middleton has been shipped away from the Bucks to Washington as Kyle Kuzma has been dealt from the Wizards. The Cavaliers have made a deal to land DeAndre Hunter from the Hawks for Caris LeVert and George Niang. Jimmy Butler goes to the Warriors in return for Andrew Wiggins, Kyle Anderson, Dennis Schrader going to the Jazz with that deal, although Schrader was later dealt to the Pistons by Utah. And in that deal, the Heat also sent P.J. Tucker to the Raptors for Davion Mitchell. Toronto also collecting Brandon Ingram as the dust settled there. And I'm Dragon Ball with your 2020 Sports Update here on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic. Crash on I-10 eastbound approaching Rita Road and slowdowns for eastbound I-10 between Valencia to nearly Rita Road. Also, we've got I-19 south of San Javier crash that occurred there. Slowdowns both directions on I-19 south of San Javier. Ajo Highway closed to the west of Kinney Road due to a fire and fire crews on scene. 46 overnight low, 78 mostly sunny tomorrow, 80 this weekend, and 82 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Rooter Ranger 24/7 Plumbing, Sewer, and Drains. For fast, affordable plumbing and emergency drain services, call Rooter Ranger and get out of plumbing danger. RooterRanger.com.
888-7-RANGER. Get you out of plumbing danger.
Flowers, chocolate, more flowers, more chocolate.
Searching for the perfect Valentine's gift? Oro Ford's got you covered. Save 10 grand off MSRP on new 2024 F-150s and new 2024 Super Duty trucks. Or get an incredible 12 grand off MSRP and new 2024 Ford Expeditions. Take the easy drive from anywhere in Tucson for the sweetest deals all February long. Only at Oro Ford and oroford.com, where you'll always get 2% tax savings and no dealer add-ons.
Restrictions may apply. Not everyone will qualify. See Oro Ford for details.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Our beautiful Arizona winter weather brings cooler overnight temperatures, which means some of you are now seeing your vehicle's low pressure warning light. Colder overnight temperatures can lower your tire's pressure just enough to trigger a warning light. But don't worry, many times the solution is simply adding the correct amount of air to your tires. Then get back to enjoying the fantastic winter weather. If adding the air doesn't do the trick, stop by any of our 14 area Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care locations for a free tire inspection and air pressure check. And if you need help with the low pressure warning light, we fix those too. Mention this radio offer for free installation with the purchase of any new tire pressure sensor. We'll install it in your wheel and rebalance your tires absolutely free. You'll find even more specials to get your car road trip ready at jackfurriers.com. So call ahead, make an appointment online, or just drop by. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Since 1960, we're here to get you there.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated in the best hearing aids of 2024 by USA Today, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices. Just $189.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 500,000 happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Hey, man. It's me, your furnace, man. Hey, can I get a light here, man? I know we live in Arizona, so I understand I'm not, like as cool as your air conditioner. But I still need a tune-up at least once a year, man. So get the best in town, man. Goodfellas AC, bro. Hey, anybody smell that, man? I swear it wasn't me. Okay, it was me.
Good service, good prices, good fellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
Tucson, it's time for the Cologuard Classic by Exact Sciences, March 7th through the 9th at La Paloma Country Club and the Westin La Paloma Resort and Spa. See some of golf's greatest players compete for the coveted Conquistadors Helmet Trophy. It's PGA Tour Champions Golf at its finest.
Let's kick it.
And Friday night, see the I Love the 90s Tour featuring Vanilla Ice, Rob Bass, and Tone Loc live in concert at Rillito Park. The Cologuard Classic by Exact Sciences benefiting colorectal cancer awareness and youth sports. Tickets and more at CologuardClassic.com.
Do you believe in McHale magic? Every voice matters. Every roar matters. And when your Wildcats take the floor against top 25 Big 12 opponents, you make the difference. McHale Center is the best home court environment in the West, and the time is now to experience the electrifying atmosphere of Arizona women's basketball. Don't wait and lock in your tickets for the ASU game on February 8th today by calling 520-621-2287 or visiting ArizonaWildcats.com. Bear down, go Cats.
Your home for everything Arizona Wildcats. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290, KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hour number 2 of our show today, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. We've got you till 5. Tommy Lloyd's show coming up. First night of softball here in Southern Arizona. We haven't even gotten to our question of the day yet. Let's get to that right now. It is something we have been talking about at length for the last few days as we turn to the second half of the Big 12 men's basketball season. And the Wildcats are sitting at 10-1 through 11 games with 9 remaining, including this Saturday night against Texas Tech in what'll be another battle for second place in the Big 12 Conference. Our question of the day, head on over to Twitter right now at Wildcats1290. How many losses will the winner of Big 12 Hoops men's basketball have this season? Early on, we thought it might be as many as 4 or 5. But through 11 games, you've got 2 teams with 1 loss in the Houston Cougars and the Arizona Wildcats. So I gave you 4 choices, as I try to do. 3 wins or 3 losses or less. 4, 5, 6, or more. Head over to Wildcats 1290. That's our Twitter account right now. How many losses will the winner of the Big 12 men's basketball regular season championship have this year? 3 or less, 4, 5, 6 or more. Right now, 55% of you saying 3 or less. Now, the other night, when we got into this on the postgame show, our thought, at least the fellas' thought, was that we might still see a team lose as many as 4 games with the schedules that both Houston and Arizona have down the stretch. Right now, the people saying 55%. What do you think on this? So we'll start. We haven't had a chance to hear from Dragon Ball on this. Dragon Ball, how many losses do you think the Big 12 men's basketball champion will have this year?
I mean, the top of the conference right now, again, you're already dealing with just 1 loss between the couple of the top teams there. I would say probably your number one team for the Big 12 is probably going to only end up having at most 3 losses. I think that once we get to the meat of this meat grinder on the second half of the schedule, especially towards the tail end of it, a lot of these games become difficult, not just for Houston, but for Arizona. Texas Tech is having a really good run. And we've already seen, Iowa State and Kansas both now have 4, in conference losses. So I think at the very least 3 losses is probably going to end up being the number for your Big 12 winner. For the regular season title, I should say.
Yeah, I would have said Houston was unbeatable until they lost to Texas, or until they lost the other day to a team that didn't have their best player on the court. So that was a little puzzling. The thing about it is you got to think about this. Houston and Arizona with 1 loss, Texas Tech with 2. Those 2 teams got to play each other more than one time, right? I mean, Arizona's going to see both those teams. Houston's going to see Texas Tech as well. The back end for the Houston Cougars is just about as difficult as the one for Arizona, which we've talked about a lot. But they have to still come here. They have to go play Iowa State at home. They have to go to the Red Raiders, and they get Kansas at home. So that's 4 more top 25 teams on their schedule. I mean, Houston's only given up about 55 points on defense. Really, really tough team to score on. But with the parity, I mean, that loss they had to Texas Tech, that was when Toppin got thrown out, right?
Yeah.
Didn't he get thrown out like 5 minutes into that game?
Yeah, it was early.
And the Red Raiders still found a way to beat that team. So before that game, I would have told you Houston might only have 2, potentially 3 losses, but they got to all 3 of those teams at the top right now have to play each other. And don't sleep on teams like Iowa State that has been struggling recently. That's still a great team. Kansas has a lot to say about this. So, yeah, I still think maybe 3 is probably the winner. 3 or 4.
Okay, there you go. I haven't decided yet. I'll vote on that. I'm gonna keep this particular poll up for a few days. We'll go through the weekend on this one, so you have a substantial amount of time to particularly to bet on that poll, and we'll let you decide what you think on that. All right, 520-848-1290 is up to get on the program. Time now. It is, we're getting closer to Super Bowl weekend, so it is, I've got a ton of prop plays from BetMGM Network now.
Will Nurkic have more rebounds than
Nurkic?
Yeah, I mean, it's always those really dumb crossover props that always kill me.
But our BetMGM Network play of the day today has nothing to do with the Super Bowl. This BetMGM top play is brought to you locally by Oro Ford at 3950 Highway 77 in Oracle.
I'm Chelsea Messenger, here to help you beat the books with the BetMGM Network. Portland will try to add their 5-game win streak. The Blazers have won 5 straight and are just 3.5 games out of the play-in spot in the Western Conference. The Blazers have their offense clicking during the streak, averaging over 120 points a game. The play tonight in the NBA is taking the over between Portland and Sacramento. I'm Chelsea Messenger from the BetMGM Network. Bet smarter and beat the books. Download the BetMGM app today. Please gamble responsibly.
Flowers, chocolate, more flowers, more chocolate.
Searching for the perfect Valentine's gift? Oro Ford's got you covered. Save 10 grand off MSRP on new 2024 F-150s and new 2024 Super Duty trucks. Or get an incredible 12 grand off MSRP and new 2020 Ford Expeditions. Take the easy drive from anywhere in Tucson for the sweetest deals all February long. Only at Oro Ford and oroford.com, where you'll always get 2% tax savings and no dealer add-ons.
Restrictions may apply. Not everyone will qualify. See Oro Ford for details.
All right, the Blazers and Kings tonight. Over 231.5 is the play at -108. If you're headed over right now to the Desert Diamond Casino Sports Book, which means your bet of $12.90 will get you back $12 if the Blazers and the Kings can score more than 231.5 points tonight. We took another L last night on college basketball. Memphis, my old hometown, and Memphis was 17-point favorite over Tulsa in the American Conference, but the Tigers only won by 12, 83-71. So we took an L there. We're back to 500, 16-16, but we're back under in the negative in our winnings. We had gotten up to $46.27 after the championship weekend because we've got some wins there. But now we're back to -$6.62. So we got a lot of prop plays we'll get into. We'll talk some Super Bowl extensively tomorrow. I've got probably, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 prop plays. Several which I haven't even been able to find odds on. I'll tell you what, like one of them I can't find any odds on. That is Eagles-Chiefs combined rushing touchdowns. Right now, the play is over 2.5. Over 2.5 rushing touchdowns between both of those teams in this game on Sunday.
My favorite are the dumb ones. Like I'm looking at, will Andy Reid say burger? Will a player be ejected? Will the power go out? Like these are some props on the board.
Oh boy. Yeah. What is Kendrick Lamar's first song There's all kinds of prop bets.
I'll tell you what, he
on
ain't going to be
this thing.
singing the one that he won the Grammy for. He can't be singing that on national television.
Or can he alter it to make
No,
it?
there's no altering that song.
I tried. I told you that the other day when we did a Grammy show and I was playing songs.
You gotta
like
play your most famous song.
I could only play the chorus of that song because
Yeah.
it's not possible to be
You-
cleaned up.
Yeah, you can't clean that song up enough for it to be playable for more than about 10, 15 seconds.
It's not even about the words that are used. It's about the messaging behind
Yes.
what's being said. Yeah.
Okay. Rest in peace, Irv Gotti, one of the legends of the rap game, passed away yesterday. Worked with many of the greats, Jay-Z, DMX, Ashanti, a lot of great rap music that Irv Gotti helped put out in the late Ja Rule, yeah. I wish I still to this day wish I had Ja Rule's voice.
Really?
Yeah, I could have maybe gone really far in this business. I had that voice. I'd have been probably in the
Speaking
big
of
leagues
voices,
right
how
now.
about over under 2.5 times that Tom Brady's voice cracks?
Oh. Has his voice been cracking? I don't
Oh
really,
yeah, no,
has it?
it's been a thing. It
Yeah.
seems like the entire season during broadcasting. I mean, props to him for trying to cover it up at times, but it's very, very obvious when it
His
does.
whole house is like a hyperbolic oxygen chamber, right? So
Yes.
that has to have something to do with it.
Is he sick? What's up with his voice cracking?
He's just, I don't think he's used to talking on TV.
Like that much?
That's the thing is that
Oh,
they've made him the go-to color commentator for their network. The problem is, I mean, justice for Greg Olson, that guy is clearly one of the better guys that they have for that job. But because he's Tom Brady, he's going to shoot over Greg in the overall rotation.
Okay.
But nonetheless, it's his first year on commentary. That's the biggest thing about this is that it's his first year. So he's really trying to figure out, where do I jump in? How long do I talk? What am I
Good for
doing?
him, though. Try something new.
He's got enough accolades. He doesn't
I
need
know,
any more.
But maybe he wants to keep busy. He's still young.
He's part owner of another football team.
He's busy. See what I mean? Wants to say busy.
Shout out to Giselle. She had her baby with the
other guy?
the
Oh.
trainer.
The other guy?
The other guy. Exactly.
With not Tom Brady?
With the not Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Part of that. Yeah, exactly. Mick, they got families now from a whole bunch of different people. Or kids, I should say, from a whole bunch of different people now. Cricket, you can recognize the voice and you can see her face. She is here. Cricket, how are you today?
Good. Yourself?
I hear you got something for the people. What do you got for the people?
Ooh, we got a sweet deal on Friday. This
sweet
one,
deals.
it is from the Dugout Sports Bar and Grill. They're located on 22nd Street near Swan. You pay $25, you'll get $50 to spend at the Dugout Sports Bar and Grill. And they have something for everyone. They've got like batting cages and arcade games, pool tables, darts. The food looks amazing, like pizza, dugout dogs, burgers, sandwiches, salads, all the appetizers. A full bar too, daily specials, and our sweet deal on Friday morning at 8:30. Wildcats Radio 1290.com.
I've got to get over there because that's my former neighborhood bar. The Dugout. I used to live like right around the block from the Dugout back in the day. So, and I remember Ern from The Vibe, 97.5 The Vibe, told me about a year ago. He's like, yeah, man, they've really redone it up in there, and it's really nice. I mean, it was kind of a dive sports bar back in the day when I was living over in the neighborhood. Of course, I don't live in that neighborhood anymore because I've moved on up to the north side.
North of River. That's a fancy part of town. It's north of River.
I don't live in the hood anymore, but yeah, it's a cool little sports bar, and they would absolutely. Whenever I walked in there, they'd say, "What game you want to watch?" and they would immediately put it on. And that, to me, that's the kind of sports bar I like. The people know how to get the games. I can't tell you how many sports bars I've walked into where they don't have the right games on and they don't know how to get the right game. I think I told the story on MLK Day. We called three places. To see if they had the Suns game on, and nobody had the Suns game on in Arizona. It's nuts to me. But if you go to a place like the Dugout, I can guarantee you everybody in the Dugout, that's probably where we should have gone, and that's where we will go next time. I guarantee you the Dugout would have been able to put the Suns game on that day.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, having spent a lot of time around managing bars, I will say this. The first requirement for a sports bar management position should be how to work the remote, not to how to replace a keg.
Exactly.
True.
Exactly. How to work the remote. How to find my game. Because I want to watch it. All right. So that is Friday, 8:30 a.m. Sweet deal. $50. Is that correct?
Yeah, you pay $25, you get $50 to
Okay.
spend. Yeah,
All right. That's
Friday.
good. Batting cages too. You can take your swing. I haven't swung a bat in forever. My shoulder might fall off.
Uh-oh.
If I tried to swing. I know I would have blisters all over my hands if I tried to get in the batting cage right now. But you shoot any pool? You a pool shark?
No,
No?
terrible. Well, I mean, I would, but I'm terrible.
You play darts?
I'm terrible at that, too. I can hurt somebody.
What is your bar? Do you have a bar game that you do?
I used to like to play trivia back a long time ago. Like
trivia. You're one of
NTN, I think
those.
it
Yeah,
was.
NTN?
Yeah. Was it NTN? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh
That was
my
a long
God.
time ago.
Yes.
That was always fun.
That was very fun. I remember those days. Man, that was, gosh, that feels like the 90s now.
I was going to say that was 20 years ago or more.
Yeah, I worked a lot of those nights at the depot.
Yeah.
A lot
All
of trivia.
We're way behind. Brian Jeffries is going to be wondering why we haven't called him. Let cricket get you home every 20 minutes on the fives.
All right, it's a busy day. We've got several crashes clearing. Eastbound I-10 approaching Rita Road. Your slowdowns on eastbound I-10 approaching Valencia to nearly Rita Road. I-19 south of San Javier. There's a crash that occurred there, reportedly off in the median. Some slowing both directions on I-19. Approaching San Javier, also clearing 6th Avenue in Valencia, Grant Road and Rosemont, and heads up Ajo Highway west of Kinney Road, closed due to an earlier fire. 46, the overnight low, 78, mostly sunny tomorrow and 80 this weekend and 82 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Jackson Hewitt. It matters who does your taxes. Jackson Hewitt makes taxes feel like a yacht rock song. Get your max tax refund guaranteed, and new customers get $100 to switch. Don't miss the boat. Book an appointment with experts today. Limited time offer for new clients, participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Our beautiful Arizona winter weather brings cooler overnight temperatures, which means some of you are now seeing your vehicle's low pressure warning light. Colder overnight temperatures can lower your tire's pressure just enough to trigger a warning light. But don't worry, many times the solution is simply adding the correct amount of air to your tires. Then get back to enjoying the fantastic winter weather. If adding the air doesn't do the trick, stop by any of our 14 area Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care locations for a free tire inspection and air pressure check. And if you need help with the low pressure warning light, we fix those too. Mention this radio offer for a free installation with the purchase of any new tire pressure sensor. We'll install it in your wheel and rebalance your tires absolutely free. You'll find even more specials to get your car road trip ready at jackfurriers.com. So call ahead, make an appointment online, or just drop by. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Since 1960, we're here to get you there.
Hey, man. It's me, your furnace, man. Hey, can I get a light here, man? I know we live in Arizona, so I understand I'm not, like as cool as your air conditioner. I still need a tune-up at least once a year, man. So get the best in town, man. Goodfellas AC, bro. Hey, anybody smell that, man? I swear it wasn't me. Okay, it was me.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
And now, a Progressive ad brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Drivers who switch to Progressive could save big with Progressive. This has been a Progressive ad from Progressive. See if you could save at 1-800-PROGRESSIVE or Progressive.com.
Right, that makes sense. So we need a clean, concise way to tell people that we'll be there in 24 hours or the... I got it. Gary, there's no room in here for whatever that is. What is it? Exactly what you asked for. Alaskan AC's way to remember, if the heater breaks down... We'll be there in 24 hours. Or the repair is free. And that's what this is. Let me turn it around. Don't... Gary! Look here. It says, Alaskan AC, the fast responding, quick acting, never dawdling, always getting, quick fixing, happy making, HVAC-ing people in town. You forgot, or it's free. That part's in the hallway. Gary, I appreciate your hard work and, overachieving? Sure, that. But I want something easy for people to remember. Yeah, who can remember Alaskan AC, the fast responding, quick acting, always getting, quick fixing, happy making, HVAC-ing people in town? It's a mouthful. 3 mouthfuls. Now get that out of here. Wait, no!
With Alaskan AC, service guarantee will arrive in one day or your repair is free.
AlaskanAC.com.
Are you ready for football?
Let's go.
Truly ready for football?
Yes.
Are you screaming for football?
What the hell is happening?
Dreaming for football?
Good times.
Eating, sleeping, crafting, parenting, naming your pets, and preparing for football.
That sort of stuff happened? Oh my goodness.
Are you dancing, jonesing, Mahomesing for football?
That's what I'm looking forward to seeing.
Good. Then you are ready for football. With the Rich Eisen Show podcast.
They're ready.
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Do you believe in McHale magic? Every voice matters. Every roar matters. And when your Wildcats take the floor against top 25 Big 12 opponents, you make the difference. McHale Center is the best home court environment in the West, and the time is now to experience the electrifying atmosphere of Arizona women's basketball. Don't wait and lock in your tickets for the ASU game on February 8th today by calling 520-621-2287 or visiting ArizonaWildcats.com. Bear down, go Cats.
The La Fiesta de los Vaqueros Tucson Rodeo returns for its 100th anniversary February 15th through 23rd.
We love the food, we love the beer, we love the Cowboys.
It's fantastic. 100 years.
No way we're missing it.
We'll be here for sure.
There's no better place to be.
Don't miss the Boots in the Dirt Music Festival with Aaron Watson, Josh Ward, and more. Live in concert Wednesday, February 19th. Celebrate 100 years of tradition at La Fiesta de los Vaqueros Tucson Rodeo. Get your tickets today at 520-741-2233 or TucsonRodeo.com.
Hey, it's David Kelly, DK on the Sports Tip. Don't forget to download the Wildcats Radio 1290 app. It slaps. We've got full coverage of the Wildcats, the Suns, the Cardinals, the Diamondbacks, Pima College. Download the Wildcats Radio 1290 app today.
I'm Bridget Condon with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. The NFL announced Wednesday a multi-year commitment to play regular season games in Melbourne, Australia, starting in 2026 as the league continues its international expansion. The first ever regular season game in Australia will be held at the iconic Melbourne Cricket Ground with the Los Angeles Rams as the designated team. Australia represents a significant global market for the NFL with a growing fan base of 6.6 million across the country. Elsewhere, just days after requesting a trade from the Browns, defensive end Myles Garrett appeared on the Rich Eisen Show and reiterated his love for Cleveland, but made it clear that his priority is competing for championships, not the Hall of Fame or money. Garrett also revealed that he consulted with LeBron James before making his trade request known. Packers running back Josh Jacobs says that despite the success of Green Bay's wide receiver by committee approach, the team needs a true number one target in 2025. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
Find what you love, love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Guides in the know and prices so low. It just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
With curbside pickup and delivery available, you'll always find what you love, only at Total Wine and More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Lowe's knows how to help you get the most out of your store run. That's why members save more with MyLowe's Rewards. Earn points towards MyLowe's money on eligible purchases. Get access to member-only deals and free member gifts. Plus, unlock free standard shipping when you reach Super Key status. So what are you waiting for? Join for free today. Lowe's. We help. You save. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
Do you believe in McHale magic? Every voice matters. Every roar matters. And when your Wildcats take the floor against top 25 Big 12 opponents, you make the difference. McHale Center is the best home court environment in the West, and the time is now to experience the electrifying atmosphere of Arizona women's basketball. Don't wait and lock in your tickets for the ASU game on February 8th today by calling 520-621-2287 or visiting ArizonaWildcats.com. Bear down, go Cats. Do you believe in McHale magic? Every voice matters. Every roar matters. And when your Wildcats take the floor against top 25 Big 12 opponents, you make the difference. McHale Center is the best home court environment in the West, and the time is now to experience the electrifying atmosphere of Arizona women's basketball. Don't wait and lock in your tickets for the ASU game on February 8th today by calling 520-621-2287 or visiting ArizonaWildcats.com. Bear down, go Cats.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
3-point lead for Iowa State. Wildcats will inbound the ball.
They need a 3 to get to overtime. Del Orso running the line. Get it off to Love. Love, midcourt. Shot is up. Good! Love has hit a 3. We're going to overtime. From backcourt, Caleb Love has just tied this game at 71. Bedlam at McHale. 5 more minutes of basketball, and we deserve it.
It's the Wildcat Hour, which means it's time for our Arizona Insiders. Each weekday, Wildcats Radio 1290 brings you all the latest news and opinions of U of A football, basketball, and the Big 12. So bear down, Wildcat Nation, and let's talk Arizona football basketball. Our Arizona Insiders are brought to you by Coors Light, an official corporate sponsor of Arizona Athletics. Coors Light. Choose chill.
All right, you heard the voice of Brian Jeffries there with the now legendary call of a week and a half ago against Iowa State. He joins us now for the first time since that famed basket. Brian, you've been in this thing a long time. It's always fun to make calls like that. We've been racking our brain over the last week and a half trying to think of many shots like that have ever happened in McHale Center. What was that night like for you?
Well, it was a great game to begin with, and you kind of hoped it was going to be that way because of the ranking Iowa State came in and Arizona, wanting to get to that level, and it turned out to be exactly what we had hoped for, just a great close game. And obviously for the Wildcats to win it feels a lot better when you walk out with a victory like that. It looked improbable there for a couple of moments, but that's why you play all 40 minutes, or in this case 45. Just like in baseball, you play all 9 innings. Football, you play all 60 minutes. You never know what's going to happen. And, there have been a few of those, not very many, other than Miles Simon's shot against Cincinnati up in Phoenix. That's probably – and that won the game. This is, to me, probably – I know Tabellis had that big shot against ASU, but
right.
Other than that, really, when you look at it from that distance, I mean, I've had some other game winners, of course, I've been able to call over the years, but when you're talking about something from half court or beyond, then that's in another stratosphere.
What do you when you see, like, obviously you're on the road with the team? What's the demeanor of Caleb Love throughout this season? Obviously, maybe he didn't early on play as well as he wanted to, but has really again kind of found his niche here in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think nothing's really changed. Caleb's a very confident man, and when things haven't gone well and the shot wasn't falling well through part of the season, it wasn't that he was sulking or, looking for any excuses. I think he just said, I'm going to work harder and see what I can do. And, the coaches encourage that. They don't want him to back away from, what makes him the guy that he is and the player that he is. And, he still leads the Big 12 in shot attempts, and he's going to keep shooting because, he's a good shooter, and guys go through ups and downs, and he went through some downs. Right now he's on some ups, and I just think his attitude is his strength, and that is he's got tremendous confidence in himself, and I think tremendous confidence in his teammates. And that's the other thing through this 5-game winning streak that stands out. I mean, yes, Caleb's scoring very well, but I think he's looking for different kind of shots. He's also trusting his teammates. Not that he hadn't before, but I just think that there's something added there that's helped this team play as well as it has. And, echoing what Tommy Lloyd said after the BYU game, that might have been their best game of the season, just considering the opponent, the environment, and everything that, you had to deal with there and to be able to play as well as they did. Caleb's the leader of the team, and, the guys look to him, and I'm glad to see that he's playing really well right now.
We're joined by Brian Jeffries, the voice of the Arizona Wildcats. Brian, obviously outside of the loss at Texas Tech, this team has really adapted to playing in this new conference well on the road. Why do you think that's been, that they've been able to kind of match these new environments every single game?
Well, I'm talking to some of the players about that. Every building that we've gone into thus far, maybe save for Stillwater, they didn't have a huge crowd that night, but the environment has been what you would consider very difficult to deal with. If it wasn't a full house, it was very close to a full house, and the fans are into it. That's the reputation of the Big 12. And the Arizona players kind of relish that. I mean, remember the Wildcats, they've got a lot of experience on that team. And, they got a couple of young guys, but for the most part, you have players that have played a lot of college basketball. And so they know how to deal with that. And I think they actually revel in the idea of going into somebody else's house and winning and kind of, being aggressive and putting it to the other team. So I look at that as probably the number one reason. I think Tommy Lloyd has done a marvelous job coaching this team. He's found this 8-man rotation that's been very effective. And so you put all that together, and their team right now, I think that's fearless, no matter wherever they go. And look at a couple of losses this year that I think have been the biggest lessons. The loss to UCLA, and the loss at Texas Tech. The loss at Texas Tech. I mean, the Red Raiders were a more physical team than Arizona was, and not that the Wildcats weren't physical, but hey, the Red Raiders were more physical, and I think I get a sense that the guys understand, and that game, really kind of drove it home that they got to be that way every night for 40 minutes, and they have been since then, and that's why I think Saturday. I mean, certainly you want to get that one back that you lost, but at the same time. Take that game away earlier down in Lubbock. This is just a huge game in terms of the standing, seating, etc.
Steve Kerr was in the audience up in Provo. Did you have any interactions with him? Did he interact with the team at all?
Well, I know he did with the team. I didn't get a chance to talk to him. I mean, he was probably still working on trying to finalize the Warriors roster. I'm just kidding there. I doubt he had that on his mind at the game. I know he was really into the game, but he and Tommy have become very good friends, and Steve has always been a great supporter of the Wildcats and continues to do so. And I think those two coaches, when they get there, I'd love to be a fly on the wall when those two guys get together because, I'm sure that they do talk some basketball, but I just think they're very like-minded in the way they go about things. And so it's always great to see Steve there because it means a lot to the current team. They all know his history, not only at Arizona, but certainly what he's done in the NBA.
Brian Jeffries, the voice of the Arizona Wildcats, is our guest. Brian, we had thought at the beginning of this whole Big 12 season, with the way that it stacked up with all these teams, we might be looking at a champion that had anywhere between 4 to 5 losses. You've got the two teams at the top who have gotten through 11 games with only 1 loss. Do you still think that we'll see? Where do you think that record count is going to come in? What do you think is going to win this conference? Is it going to be a team at 16-4? Is it going to be a team at 17 or 15-5? How many losses do you think wins this thing at this point now with 9 games to go?
Oh gosh, I don't want to even guess right now. I thought before the season started, I would have thought 4 minimum, just based on the balance of this league. It could certainly turn out that way. But you guys were talking about it a little while ago, and that is, what these teams have left. And Houston probably has the toughest schedule. They're in first place with Arizona right now, and they got to play 4 of the top 5 teams before this season is over. Arizona's got to play 3. Kansas still has to play 3. And by the way, Kansas, their final 3 games of the season, Texas Tech, Houston, Arizona. So it could come down to that last weekend there. I just think that's why, you hate to say it when you got a 20-game schedule. It seems like a lot of games, but now you've made the turn. You're in the latter half of the schedule. Every single game, if you want to win the conference, every single game just takes on added importance. And so that's why, tomorrow's game Saturday's game against Texas Tech is so big for both of them because one of those teams is going to be tagged with a loss, and that could, if Texas Tech wins, they win the tiebreaker over Arizona if they should end up tied, and they move into a second place tie. Arizona wins and they stay, probably tied for first place with Houston, headed to Kansas State next week, and so. I just think every game now takes on much bigger meaning, at least for those teams that want to try and win it.
What, as you look at this Texas Tech team that's coming in here on Saturday, what do you kind of like about what they do from what you saw the first time around and how they've kind of, to me, I think they've been one of the biggest surprises in the conference this year.
Oh, I agree, David. They were picked 7th in the league, and I think they've done a tremendous job. I didn't pay much attention to him early on, but then as the season went on and you started, getting your eyeballs on them and realize again how physical they are. They're just a tough team. They are deep. What hurt the Wildcats in Lubbock was rebounding. I mean, Arizona just got killed on the boards, both offensively and defensively, and they can't allow that to happen again. And, JT Toppin, 16 boards in that game. I think almost half of them seemed like were on the offensive end. And so to me, that's number one. Arizona's been a very good rebounding team this year. And, when they have been out rebounded, they've got their records under 500. So that tells you right there that's number one. In my mind, they got to be able to control the glass on Saturday and see what, Texas Tech does not run a real high tempo. And so, they want to grind this game out and, kind of like it was in Lubbock. So can the Wildcats play at their pace? And we know what that is. And who controls the tempo on Saturday? I think that's another factor to look at.
Brian, you have any thoughts you want to share on how things transpired at the end of that game in Tempe last week?
I'm still confused, David. I really am. I'd love some clarity. What disappoints me, there wasn't not a lot of communication. The game officials, and we sit right there on press row, and I think there was some confusion between the game officials and the official score. There wasn't much communication with anyone as to exactly what had been called. I called the NCAA on Monday morning and talked to a guy there in the rules office, and he didn't have access to the game report, so he really couldn't speak on that particular game or that particular instance. But I went through the scenario with him and said, what could or what should have happened. And as he explained, technical fouls have different levels to them. And that was where I think we wanted communication. So, was it you've got your common technical foul, which usually involves, a potty mouth. Then you've got a flagrant one, which Jaden Bradley got called for at BYU because of contact above the shoulder. Then you've got a flagrant two, which is a more violent, foul that they feel. And then, of course, if you get if there's physical contact, it can be considered fighting. So you really got 4 different levels there, and there was never any clarity as to exactly, what level of technicals have been called. And I don't know this for a fact, just, going back and watching it on film, I still question why Caleb was hit with 2 technicals. Right. I don't get it. I still don't get it. He's going to be, I'm going to see him in about half an hour. He's coming to the coach's show tonight. I don't think I'm going to ask him that on the air, but I might ask him off the air. I said, is it just something? Did you just say something? I mean, that's all it takes. That, one of those 4-letter words, and that'll get you. But, I don't know why the officials called 2 on him, and then they had to go to the replay to see Freeman's headbutt.
Yeah,
they didn't even see that happen. So, we move on.
We do. We move on to Saturday in a big game. New time at 8:30. National television comes to calling to Tucson for the Texas Tech Raiders and the Arizona Wildcats. Brian, appreciate you as always. Have a great call on Saturday.
All right. Thanks, guys. See you.
Brian Jeffries, who will be on the air in 20 minutes, talking to, I hope he was driving. Hope he was, 25. That's right. We have a little bit more time. I hope he was driving or on his way. I totally forgot that, he's got to be somewhere at the top of the hour. I'm just talking his head off. It's oh, wait, he's got to be at the Union Public House at 5 o'clock. David.
Well, he's getting interviewed now, but he will be doing the interviews in a matter of 25 minutes, yes.
I'm glad he mentioned that. I was oh, that's right. He's got a coach's show coming up. I got to let him go. All right, cricket. We're way behind on traffic, but she'll let you know what's happening right now.
This is your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Collisions reported Grant and Rosemont and Grant Road, 6th and Valencia and 6th Avenue. Eastbound I-10 approaching Rita Road, there is a crash that's clearing there. Pretty heavy backups on eastbound I-10 between Irvington, Palo Verde to nearly Rita Road. And for your weather, our overnight lows near 46, 78, mostly sunny tomorrow and 80 this weekend, 81 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Audible. Tap into your well-being with Audible audiobooks, podcasts, and originals. Expand your life with expert insight and motivation for better health, habits, relationships, finance, and more. Start listening free when you sign up for a 30-day trial at audible.com.
Hey, man. It's me, your furnace, man. Hey, can I get a light here, man? I know we live in Arizona, so I understand I'm not, like as cool as your air conditioner. But I still need a tune-up at least once a year, man. So get the best in town, man. Goodfellas AC, bro. Hey, anybody smell that, man? I swear it wasn't me. Okay, it was me.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Our beautiful Arizona winter weather brings cooler overnight temperatures, which means some of you are now seeing your vehicle's low pressure warning light. Colder overnight temperatures can lower your tire's pressure just enough to trigger a warning light. But don't worry, many times the solution is simply adding the correct amount of air to your tires. Then get back to enjoying the fantastic winter weather. If adding the air doesn't do the trick, stop by any of our 14 area Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care locations for a free tire inspection and air pressure check. And if you need help with the low pressure warning light, we fix those too. Mention this radio offer for free installation with the purchase of any new tire pressure sensor. We'll install it in your wheel and rebalance your tires absolutely free. You'll find even more specials to get your car road trip ready at jackfurriers.com. So call ahead, make an appointment online, or just drop by. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Since 1960, we're here to get you there.
Do you believe in McHale magic? Every voice matters. Every roar matters. And when your Wildcats take the floor against top 25 Big 12 opponents, you make the difference. McHale Center is the best home court environment in the West, and the time is now to experience the electrifying atmosphere of Arizona women's basketball. Don't wait and lock in your tickets for the ASU game on February 8th today by calling 520-621-2287 or visiting ArizonaWildcats.com. Bear down, go Cats.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-568-2790. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-568-2790. That's 800-568-2790. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with, call Big Lou at 800-568-2790.
This is Zach Gelb with the Sports Minute, sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone, AutoZone. I talked to Myles Garrett yesterday, and he said the Philadelphia Eagles would be a hell of a destination for him. Also, in my conversation with Myles, the Washington Commanders, Buffalo Bills, and even the Dallas Cowboys came up. When I evaluate the field, though, I think the most pressure is on Brandon Beane and the Bills to strike a deal to land the star pass rusher, so Buffalo could have that final piece to give them their best chance to win their first ever Super Bowl. I'm Zach Gelb.
Do you have an invention idea but don't know what to do next? Call InventHelp today. We have representatives nationwide who will explain the InventHelp process step by step. Over 10,000 patents have been secured through InventHelp's patent referral services. The InventHelp Data Bank includes thousands of companies who have agreed to review new ideas. We've been helping inventors since 1984. Let's help you next. Get started today.
Call 1-800-217-4380. That's 1-800-217-4380. Again, 1-800-217-4380.
In a world that moves a million miles a second, Haagen-Dazs invites you to slow down and savor every delicious bite. Take it one almond at a time with the Haagen-Dazs Vanilla Milk Chocolate Almond Bar. Madagascar vanilla, rich milk chocolate, and toasted California almonds make this unmatched icon legendary. Whatever Dazs you savor, a snack bar or your favorite flavor, say goodbye to the fast life and hello to savoring the finest ingredients and the richest and creamiest ice cream. That's Dazs, available at retailers nationwide.
Do you believe in McHale magic? Every voice matters. Every roar matters. And when your Wildcats take the floor against top 25 Big 12 opponents, you make the difference. McHale Center is the best home court environment in the West, and the time is now to experience the electrifying atmosphere of Arizona women's basketball. Don't wait and lock in your tickets for the ASU game on February 8th today by calling 520-621-2287 or visiting ArizonaWildcats.com. Bear down, go Cats!
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. We still have a little bit more time with you as we take you up to the Tommy Lloyd Show. 5:05 from the Union Public House. As you heard Brian Jeffries say, Caleb Love is going to be the special guest. Tommy usually does about a half an hour and then gets out of there and lets the special guest take over the show. Last night you heard we had Desiree Reed-Francois on earlier, and you heard her talk about the Arizona women's basketball team. They will be playing Saturday, but they also played last night, did the ladies, and they fell in their game against the Colorado Buffaloes last night. Colorado took control of this game early as they jumped on the Wildcats in the second quarter.
Kick it back out. Wide open three on the way from Garzon's good. Colorado now 3 for 7 from behind the arc. The Wildcats 2 for 8 and are trailing 4. Weta front court left. There, Masagayo is able to get the pocket pass from Weta. There's her first assist, and the Wildcats now down 6 without any sign of offense here with 6:38 to go. Jada gets to the elbow, then loses it on the way up. The loose ball is picked up by Montea, but as she was falling out of bounds, she throws it right back to an awaiting Garzon. So the Cats were able to establish the full court pressure, but couldn't take advantage because of the turnover. Now Garzon's going to get her own miss and score it off the glass as another offensive rebound hurts the Wildcats. That's now 6. 6 offensive boards have been allowed, 6 points scored by Colorado, and the lead is now 6. Weta cuts between two Wildcats, gets this one now. She's being trailed by Rolfe. Nobody stopped the basketball. Bounces this to the left block. Masagayo with the catch and finish. She has 10.
Another single-digit quarter for the ladies yesterday in that second quarter. Wildcats could only muster 8 points. They trailed by 8 at the half of that game. But there was a career milestone that took place in this ball game. It came for Isis Bay.
Bay's able to get it, go right back over to Jada. High arcing three is up and down. All right, Jada perhaps getting hot as that gets it into single digits.
100th career assist for Isis Bay. She would finish the game with 3 assists and 12 points as she continues to be an offensive presence for the Wildcats. Skylar Jones, another big scoring game for Arizona.
Tadair looking at a cutting tube, but then has the basketball stripped away from her on the sideline, and there's nothing but acreage up front for Skylar, who had the strip, steal, score. With 3 minutes and 24 seconds to go, and now it's tripped away and stolen away. Jones picks it up on the roll and gets this one at the rim as the Cats, when they are able to set up the full court pressure, they have been able to really make Colorado uncomfortable. Long rebound from Rolfe. She's got Jones in front as she catches that one and scores it. The Cats again desperately needed that shot as it gets the deficit down to 11. Skylar eventually comes away with it. She's got Jada up front. Instead, she's going to go right to left and score it. 5 quick points here for the Wildcats. Get it back to a 10-point game. scored the last 5, but it's taken away in the backcourt. Bay, Rolfe, and now pass it up front. All alone underneath Jones to get it down to 7.
12 points in the game for Skylar Jones. She and Isis Bay led the way with 12 points, but the Wildcats fall to the Colorado Buffaloes 56-47. Foul trouble for Brea Cunningham last night as she would foul out, scoring just 4 points and grabbing only 2 rebounds in just 13 minutes of action. Wildcats had 2 starters in the game that played under 15 minutes as Paulina Paris also played limited minutes last night, finishing 0 for 5 from the floor and not scoring a single point in the ball game. So Arizona back under 500 now in conference play. They're sitting now on the lower end of the docket in terms of the table, right there in the middle, behind now 5 games. Kansas State leads the Big 12 Women's Basketball Conference at 10-1. TCU Baylor are right behind them at 9-2. Wildcats are sitting with Cincinnati right now at 5-6. Let's hear a little bit of Adia Barnes on the loss in Boulder.
The first thing I'd like to say is Colorado really outplayed us tonight. I thought that they out-hustled us. I thought that they wanted it a lot more. I thought they got all the 50-50 balls. They made big shots. They were relentless on the boards. I thought they played a really good game. And I know that they're shorthanded. They're without one of their best players, and I think that everybody stepped up. And unfortunately, we did not have that today. So in the result, we lost the game.
But, Coach, if I could tell you before the game that you were going to turn them over 21 times and steal the ball from them 15 times, how would you have liked your chances?
Well, I would have said, well, we would probably have a good chance of winning the game. I think our diamond press affected them, but we just could never convert, and we could never get over the hump. I thought, it's really hard to win games when, from the guards, it was just an off night. Jada 3 for 14, and she had some good looks. She usually converts on some of those shots. And then Paulina 0 for 5. And then Mylene was 2 for 3. So I think just being like 5 for 23, whatever that quick math is, it's hard to win like that. But I think more importantly, I think you can be off shooting. But my point to them was you can still figure out ways that we can help your team win. So you're off shooting, be like an amazing communicator. It's not your night. Maybe you're setting great screens. You're getting the 50-50 balls. You're playing phenomenal defense. There's ways to help your team win, and I don't think we got that. And I don't think it consistently as a team, we did the little things. And then we continue to foul and be out of position. Like, I think there has to be – we're very young, and we're the youngest team in the Big 12. I know that. That's not an excuse. But we continue to make a lot of the same young mistakes. For instance, 3 seconds on the shot clock going to half. There is not a time, that's not the time when you're pressing the ball. That's the time when, and we know Jade is not a shooter. She wants to drive it with her right hand, we know that. So there's no sense in pressing her and giving a layup. Those are momentum shifters in games, and those are very important plays. And they shift the momentum and give teams so much confidence going into halftime. So those are things those are continuous mistakes that we keep on making. And we have to grow up and learn from those things and cannot do those things over and over again.
All right, that was Adia Barnes after the loss last night in Colorado. So the ladies will be home this weekend for their rivalry matchup against Arizona State. It'll be the first of their 2 meetings against the Sun Devils. The next meeting will be the final game of the regular season, and that'll be in Tempe on Saturday, March the 1st. So a couple of games. Road doesn't get much easier for the ladies either. You've got Arizona State, and then you got to travel to Oklahoma State, so they've got a lot of split games. But then they'll come home and take on, have a home series, home weekend, or stand, however you want to phrase it now, with the games being midweek. But they'll play TCU. That'll be obviously the much-anticipated visit by the Horned Frogs and Haley Van Lith, Manny Connor and company coming in here, followed by the return game with BYU, which will be on the 19th of February. Ladies, though, with some work to do if they want to try to put themselves in a position to potentially make the NCAA tournament and have a big seed going into the Big 12 tournament coming up in Kansas later in March. All right, that's going to wrap up our show for today. We'd like to thank everybody that was a part of it. We've got Desiree Reed-Francois, Brian Jeffries for Dragon Ball for Cricket. For J-Dub, I'm David Kelly. That's our time for it tonight. Thank you very much for your time. We'll talk to you tomorrow. DK on the Sports Tip. Have a great night, everybody.
This is your Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together. With that crash that occurred eastbound I-10 approaching Rita Road, some on and off slowdowns and at times some pretty heavy slowing on eastbound I-10 between 6th Avenue to nearly Rita Road. Collision 6th Avenue in Valencia, Grant Road and Rosemont. And also we've got some slowing at that northbound I-19 merge onto westbound I-10. And for our overnight low, 46 tomorrow, mostly sunny, 78, 80 this weekend, and 81 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Arizona Lottery.
When you play the Arizona Lottery, there's always a chance you'll win big, but there's also a guarantee that you'll be giving back to the community. There's joy in it all. Love the play with scratchers, draw games, and more from the Arizona Lottery.
Right, that makes sense. So we need a clean, concise way to tell people that we'll be there in 24 hours or the... I got it. Gary, there's no room in here for whatever that is.
What is it? Exactly what you asked for. Alaskan AC's way to remember. If the heater breaks down...
We'll be there in 24 hours.
Or the repair is free. And that's what this is. Let me turn it around.
Don't... Gary.
Look here. It says, Alaskan AC, the fast responding, quick acting, never dawdling, always getting, quick fixing, happy making, HVAC-ing people in town. You forgot. Or it's free. That part's in the hallway.
Gary, I appreciate your hard work and,
Overachieving?
Sure, that. But I want something easy for people to remember.
Yeah, who can remember Alaskan AC, the fast responding, quick acting,
always getting, quick fixing,
happy making, HVAC-ing people in town?
It's a mouthful.
3 mouthfuls.
Now get that out of here. Wait, no!
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
AlaskanAC.com.
It's the $10,000 quiz show. Okay, contestants, these are things that save you money. Ready? Here we go. It's Tucson's only place to save up to 40% on all your favorite tobacco products.
Tobacco Barn.
You pay no city or state sales tax because they're on
the Indian Reservation.
And save up to another $3 off with a coupon at
TobaccoBarnTucson.com.
Excellent. Now for the big savings. At Tobacco Barn, you'll save up to
40% off.
And because they're on the reservation, you pay no
city or state sales tax.
And at TobaccoBarnTucson.com, you get
a coupon up to $3 off.
What you are if you waste your money shopping somewhere else.
Crazy?
Nuts.
Stupid?
A few tacos short of a combo plate?
Whoa! Tobacco Barn, Tucson's most watched savings show. Nogales Highway just south of Valencia. Check your local listings or TobaccoBarnTucson.com.
BetMGM is giving you the chance to win up to $250,000 in bonus bets with BetMGM's longest touchdown jackpot. Log into your account today and opt in. Place an anytime touchdown wager of $10 or more on the player of your choice, up to one player per game. If your player scores the longest touchdown of the week, you could win a share of the $250K. BetMGM and GameSense reminds you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age and older. Arizona only. BetMGM's longest touchdown jackpot subject to rules. See BetMGM.com. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Bonus bets are unrestricted reward bonus dollars that expire in 7 days. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
Out here in the middle of these acres, it can feel like you're the only person on Earth. That's how it feels when you're struggling with your mental health. But you don't have to feel alone. Find more information at loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
Hey, man. It's me, your furnace, man. Hey, can I get a light here, man? I know we live in Arizona, so I understand I'm not, like as cool as your air conditioner. But I still need a tune-up at least once a year, man. So get the best in town, man. Goodfellas AC, bro. Hey, anybody smell that, man? I swear it wasn't me. Okay, it was me.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Hey, good morning. You're heading to the airport, right?
Yep, thanks for checking. I like the car. How long have you been a rideshare driver?
About 3 years now, but I really enjoy it.
Isn't it hard to make money these days with the price of gas being so high?
Not for me. I use Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get real money back when you get gas with the Upside app?
Yep, I get real cash back every...